It's time for some podcasting. I hope you keep on listening. Cause it's time for talking Tremor shit. Talking Tremor shit. Pop, pop. Whoa. Hey everyone, welcome. Hold on, let me do something real quick. I am your host, Levi Dylan Burzloff Flood. There is a link underneath here that would normally be where my name is. If you don't want to listen to me, please go visit this. Go to www.stampede-entertainment.com. I beg you. Hold on. I need to share this in the Facebook group. All right. Now that's shared. Awesome. Cool. Hold on. I need to. So I'm a little different today. This is probably going to be a very short episode. Caitlin went off to the store for some stuff, so she's gone. I got some time. We're in the middle of watching Fast and Furious movies, and I'm going to be honest, folks. I would rather watch the Fast and the Furious movies than do what I'm about to do today. I'm not. God damn it! I'm so. I'm over it. All right. So as it. Get it out of the way up front. So this headline that has happened because of the Stampede entertainment news it's got me pissed because it's a terrible headline. Most of the time they are. Does anybody, if you're there, I got one person in the chat, but is there ever a time where a headline really gives you what you need to know? There's a reason for them. They're short and quick and in your face. But beyond that, they don't fucking do anything. I'm just checking here. All right. So I'm actually going to be pulling up some examples, and I would really like to talk about this because there's a lot that the articles, actually, I must give a shout out if Cody Hamann is watching out there. Cody Hamann, who is a writer for JoeBlow.com. I would really love to give you a shout out for personally actually getting this stories right. Most of the time, it's not your fault. Like, you do a really good job of like, okay, this is where it came from. This is what we should be doing. Listen to this. But I'm going to use the word rags because I feel like that's the best way. Like the horror or the article rags, or I was trying to come up with because I want to say magazines, but that's not a thing anymore. I want to be like the magazines got it right, but they didn't. The news media outlets have got this story discombobulated all to fucking hell. And hold on, I need to check. I just want to make sure that this actually posted in certain places. Because last week the live video got taken down because of the song. Actually, not even because of the song, because of the imagery. Which is that's gonna be wow. Okay, that actually ties into what I gotta talk about here, but I just want to make sure before I go any further that I had at least posted this in the okay, I see myself. It's there. All right, cool. Because this is super duper fucking important for everyone to know. All right, and I'm even wearing my Fright Rag shirt. Don't trim on me. They have a really cool catalog of 4 different shirts that just came out. It's part of the licensing. Oh, I'm so mad. All right. I got olives here just cause, but this show is I want to be not so fun about it. Let's just start. I was waiting for people, but you know what? Fuck them. If you're not here, you're missing out. So the news broke on April 16th. It was April 16th that Steve S.S. Wilson posted on the Stampede Entertainment site. That's this down here. Please visit this. If you don't want to listen to me, visit this. Posted the Stampede Entertainment update to what has been happening with the rights news. If you were here last episode, I was literally talking about this before Steve announced it. So if you don't want to believe me, if you think I'm just a crazy person, take your time to actually go back and listen to the last episode and hear how I told you all what was going to happen this week before it actually happened. It is a running theme on this show that I do know way more than I'm supposed to, and I do try to give that information to the people for what we can do as all of us. To the point, so Steve made this update, and I'm going to go through. I have the Stampede Entertainment site ready to go on my phone to pull up here and have examples. But I want us to first look at what the headline news is right now. So we'll pull this one up. I'm trying new things off my phone. Yes, this actually pulled up like I wanted it to. I can't see because it says mic is muted. But in essence, it is saying Stampede Entertainment got the rights back to Tremors. They are discussing a Return to Perfection sequel and considering ideas that feature the return of Kevin Bacon as Val. I'm gonna leave this up for a minute because it is incredibly frustrating to me that that's what they took out of what really happened here. First part is that, Stampede got the rights back. This is old news. This is actually news. It's hard for me to clarify what that is because I've known so long. This was news that was officially released in October. This Stampede has the rights back. That was the first domino that you, the public, John Q. Public, was able to know. Besides, unless you're listening to my show or you're talking to me, and I can't shut up about it because I have been railing for about the last, at least 5 years, 3 years of this show, that this was happening and that I had been working with lawyers, Mark Toberoff and Stampede and all these people to make this thing happen. This is old news. This is that part of the headline. We don't even really need it. Boom. It should go away. What's it? Yeah. Thank you. Oh, Kev. Or no, sorry, Jeff. Jeff is always the Suns and Shadows. Thank you. I want to give a shout out to the Suns and Shadows shows right now with Jeff, Kevin, Chad, and Skeeter. Thank you guys so much for having me on when you do. And Jeff and Kevin have been here since the very beginning, before they had a YouTube show, before they did all of that. And I was, to your respect, Jeff, I want you to know that I almost did this show last night, but I didn't want to run into your live show. You guys have so many live shows that I have to schedule my show around it. But that specific Saturday night Deadwire Live, if you want to go check it out, everybody, Deadwire Live on the Suns and Shadows channel, please go check out my friends Jeff, Kevin, and Chad and Skeeter there. They do a great job, along with the Stargate files. I really love that. But I didn't want to interfere with you guys because I'm so mad about this right now. I should pull up my face. Everybody's looking at this fucking. No, I need to hold on. Can I get a side angle? Maybe I can't. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull that up again. That's fine. I don't really want you to see me. I'm going to talk about the next part of this though. Ooh, I'm really angry. So really, in essence, the second part is also not news. This goes into what had been released in October, that Stampede has no desires to do a remake or a reboot. They have this script, the original script to the very first Tremors, and I'm going to get into that later. They have the original script to Tremors, and that's it. But they're not going to remake anything. So this discussing a Return to Perfection sequel already been done. It's already out there, already known quantity. The only thing, and I want to get to this so that way I can pull this off and you can see how angry I am. The only thing that is news, and I can't even say that this is truly news about this, is that Stampede Entertainment was considering ideas to bring Kevin Bacon back. This goes without saying. This is another point, and I'll actually now. Well, you can see my face again, so that way you can see how angry I am. This goes to another point about this. When this news got released, it was Friday. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to watch it if Michael Gross isn't there." Why didn't they say anything about Michael Gross? Because Michael Gross is a known quantity. We know Michael Gross is going to be in a Tremors movie, especially if it's a Stampede one. He's chomping at the bit far harder than anybody else has. That's like, come on. It's like wondering if water is wet. Yes, Michael Gross will be in a Tremors movie. Stampede is clarifying that they do think of Kevin Bacon because there is this narrative that, Kevin Bacon doesn't want to do it and they have like history. No. There's schedules and time and way that, like, the history is just not worked out in either side's favor that Kevin Bacon gets to be a part of Tremors. Like, pick Apollo 13 or Tremors 2 Aftershocks. I mean, that's a hard one. So clarifying here that, hey, we are thinking of Kevin means that that's not, of course, why not? All right. That's the article, that's the headline rag of it all. And it's not good news. That's where I'm having a, hold on, I'm gonna make sure everybody's here. Okay, I got so many poppers. It's not, because there's things that are happening that always have been happening that, again, I catch before they happen. And if you've listened to this show enough, you know this. Universal is definitely going to be making their own Tremor sequel. Like, this news about Stampede, like, all these headline articles did was give Universal more sway at the negotiating table, which is incredibly important, because the thing that we need to, all of us, if you're listening to this right now, if you're in the Facebook group or you're on Twitter or Blue Sky or Tumblr, or you're not on TikTok right now because I'm using my phone for that, this thing that has now happened because of the name Tremors is so much more important than anything with fucking Kevin Bacon. What makes me mad about these headlines is the way, it's old news. Stampede got the copyright back. Yeah, we knew that. What we now have learned is that Stampede didn't get really anything. That's the point of Tremors as a name. So I'm gonna give you some history first, and then I'm gonna pull up what Stampede said. But this is incredibly important as build up to what this is. When Steve Wilson and Brent Maddock and Nancy Roberts and Ron Underwood were writing the first script for Tremors, and I must state that it was the four of them working together. It is mainly Steve and Brent on the script, but those four working in tandem is what gets us the best kind of. I keep saying Tremors. I don't want to say this because this is important. While they were writing this script for a good 5 years, from the time Short Circuit went into production and then became a big hit, Nancy came to Steve and Brent and was like, all right, you can get anything you want done in town. What do you want done? And they're like, well, we have this idea, this land shark idea, and let's go for it. From that point on, they started writing this script. It is why Tremors is such a tight 96-minute script, is because they worked on it for almost 5 years, over and over and over, trying to shop it around town and do this. But the title that they had was Beneath Perfection. The movie was never called Tremors. Not actually. That's where I see a lot of complaints. They're like, well, if it's called Tremors, why don't they ever mention that in the script? Because it's not in the script. It's not actually a thing that's involved with it. The way that this worked is that for 5 years, they fucking had this script written, wrote, shopped it around town, went to Universal, got Universal to give them money for it, made the whole fucking movie underneath the name Beneath Perfection, to the point where the cast and crew wrap gifts said Beneath Perfection on the back. That's where those really cool denim jackets that say Beneath Perfection come from. And actually, hold on, I got this is less in my super folder here. So on every single like call sheet, like daily call sheet, right at the top, I'm going to see if you can kind of see it. It says BPP Incorporated. That is Beneath Perfections Productions Incorporated. There's actually, it's probably going to be harder for me to find. Hold on. I had these all sorted, but then I should have had these ready to go. I'm sorry, everybody. Hey, hold on. Yes, I have a 20-pound binder filled with Tremors facts. What of it? Seriously. This fucking thing. Jesus Christ. Hold on. I know there's one in here. I wonder if it's close. Probably not. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, wow. Ironic. There's the Tremors at the top. Nice. Okay. I cannot find it right now. But there's a lot of stationery that physically says Beneath Perfection Productions. Hey, what's up, Justin? It is. Justin, you should see this thing. It's this maybe 25 pounds. Holy fucking shit. That thing is stacked. So the movie was called Beneath Perfection. That was the name of the movie for the longest time. And then once production finished, Universal said, we can't sell that. We can't sell a movie called Beneath Perfection. They already had a hard enough time selling a movie in the first place. So I don't really want to fucking hear this from Universal. Oh, I will put it on a scale, Justin. You bet your sweet ass I will. Bring the scale, fucker. Bring it. Bring it. Let's do that. God damn, I love you. Universal went, we can't sell a movie. Oh yeah, thank you, Kev. Or sorry, Jeff. I keep saying Kev. Sorry. Thank you, Jeff. A binder is important. Keep your shit organized. I used to have it in a folder, but then it grew past the folder, and I needed to put it in a bigger thing. Universal freaked out. We can't sell this movie. They couldn't sell the movie in the first place. This is an off-lamented thing about, you can hear it from Steve, you can hear it from Brent, you can hear it from Kevin Bacon, you can hear it from Michael Gross, that Universal had no idea how to sell this movie, this mix of comedy and horror. So the idea that, oh, we can't do it because of the name, absolutely bullshit. They basically went, all right, so earthquakes are big in Japan right now, let's call it Tremors, because then, you know, you got your ground is quaking in the earth. All right, that definitely counts as an impression. So they changed it to Tremors. Universal changed it to Tremors. And in fact, it was Tom Pollock who was, let's call it Tremors. I'm fine. So this name happened. All right. And now we know it as Tremors. We don't know it as the Beneath Perfection universe, or the Beneath Perfection saga, or the Beneath Perfection series. It's called the Tremors. It's called the Tremors saga. It's called the Tremors series. There's a reason for this. I'm so mad. This distinction is the thing that has fucked Stampede over. Oh, dude, Jeff, yeah. Oh, it's fine. You're fine. I hope that this episode will teach a little more. I don't need to. I appreciate it. I don't need to come on the show just to talk about this. I will get it all out of the way here. But I appreciate your offer all the same. Thank you very much. I would love to. I'd love to join you anytime, as long as I'm awake. But this fucking name, this goddamn Tremors name, is what has screwed everything up. And I am so sad. I emailed Steve when I read it because I knew what it meant. Because for the last, they have not liked the name. I can't say hate. They've gotten used to it over the years. But it's always been this, this spine tingle with the Stampede team that they fucking called it Tremors. It's such a B movie schlock name is what, and I always wonder what the universe would be with, the Beneath Perfection series, but Tremors really declassifies that, it distills the movie down to something that it's not. And Tremors exceeds that, but that name right there, it's just as bad as saying Graboids. If your title was Graboids, at least with that title, they would get the goddamn creature name right. So it hurts, all right? So, because what happened here, and I feel like I'm actually going to pull up everything now. Now that you know this, now that you know how important that name is to everything. And before I pull this up, I want to state one really, really important thing. Universal's fucking rallying cry when it comes to Tremors. We can sell an empty box named Tremors. I have this lovely book from Jonathan Melville, Seeking Perfection, the official guide to Tremors, and they say it. There's 3 different Universal executives that say at different times a variation of, we can sell an empty box named Tremors. No, okay. So Juan, if you that's you, Juan. So Juan says, so I did hear of the rights of the first film going back, but didn't hear this clickbait article coming at it as new. It just came out on Friday, Saturday, and it's literally, it went viral. It's making the rounds. It's super annoying. I'll pull it up so you can see it here. It's this, or a variation of this. Oh, they got the rights. Oh, Return to Perfection. Oh, Kevin Bacon. That's all it is. It is so devoid of substance that I'm literally doing a fucking show about it right now. It makes me so mad. All right. So this happened. All right. So I'm going to pull this up now. And remember the name Beneath Perfection. Just remember it. All right. So next one I'm going to pull up. I think it's, hold on. All right. Hold on. Did that work? One more second. Nope. All right. This is the Stampede Entertainment website. I would urge all of you to stop fucking listening to my show right now and go to this website. Or if you're able to, go to this website while you're listening to my show. I can't tell people to go to this website enough. I'm a great resource of information. I'll tell you everything that you need to know. But 9 times out of 10, Steve Wilson has answered your question before you even thought of it. He has been here on StampedeEntertainment.com answering these questions for, I want to say, like 15 years, maybe 20. It's been a long, because it goes back to the Stampede forums. It's a whole thing. But go to this site right now and check it out. Right at the top, there's a little clicky thing, and it says Learn More. Click that Learn More. And you will see Stampede wins back, parentheses, some rights to Tremors, April 2025 update. And that's important because, again, there was an October 2024 update for this too. Also at Stampede Entertainment. Like this, there's multiple versions of this. But this one right here is the one we're going to focus on for today. And with it, we're going to pull up the first bit. Okay. Oh, wow. I forgot how tiny. Can I actually read this over here? Yeah. I'm gonna read it out, and then we're gonna go through it bit by bit. Should I do my Steve? No, I'm not gonna do my Steve voice. I love Steve. I do a great Steve. I love that man. As was announced at the Santa Fe Tremors Fest in October 2024, the partners in Stampede Entertainment have reclaimed the rights to the original script for Tremors. So, all right, there's number one. This was already announced. Duh. We've been exploring what this may allow us to do, so here's the update. First, we aren't reading any outside ideas. It's like, Juan, just stop. Like, that's, oh yeah, Juan, I'm going to get into it. This is a great, Juan has it already. So the name Tremors can't be used by Stampede for future films, let alone things made by Universal. Why not take what was ever made during Beneath Perfection along with that title? So I'm going to get into it, Juan. Like, please trust me on this. I'm going to guide your hand through this. I have a very specific show set up for today. First, we aren't reading any outside ideas. So stop pitching. All right. There's a couple of things you could pitch to them. Currently right now, I'm working with one person to pitch a comic adaptation of the Beneath Perfection script. I'm also working with another person pitching a fully new Graboid adventure that's happening over in Australia with Aboriginal people. These are things you can actually do because they're not movie ideas. They're not TV ideas. You can go out there as an artist and make these yourself. This is the same thing as the Tremors comic book anthology that's coming out. This is also how, I can't wait to get to it, Christian Francis, who's going to be writing the novelization of Tremors, reached out to Steve originally and got this like contact. You have to be coming to them with more than, here's my idea for a sequel. Just don't do it. I'm begging you all to please stop. It's just don't. Give him other questions than that. Come on. Help Steve Wilson out. He's been doing a lot for us for the last 35 years. Thank you, Steve. First, we aren't reading any new ideas. Outside ideas. That's not true. They are reading some of my ideas. We are discussing a Return to Perfection sequel and 1 or 2 more outlandish ideas featuring Graboids in new settings. Now, I know that those articles took that Return to Perfection sequel and they ran with it. The thing that they missed was that second part, that they are exploring one or two more outlandish ideas. We are more likely to get one of these outlandish ideas than we are to get a Return to Perfection sequel. This is incredibly important to what I almost want to bring it up now, but I'm going to tell you the idea for how to go about the next sequel. There is the Predators/Prey model. If you've never seen the Predator franchise, there are two movies. One that has come out most recently, Prey, which premiered on Hulu, and then another, Predators, with Adrian Brody. This is the model that most likely will happen. Before we get a Return to Perfection sequel, Stampede is going to take graboids, put them into a new setting, whether that setting's in the past, present, or the future. That's why I make a Predators/Prey reference. You know, the Prey is in the past, Predators is kind of present-y future. But this idea that the story is not taking place in what we kind of already know. It's a new story, and it's not erasing any canon. It's taking a different path right now. It's the idea of like, you're not destroying a city, you're just living in a different one. You don't know what's happening in that other city because you're living in this one currently. I hope that makes sense to people. So there's going to be no erasing of canon, anything like, well, at least for Tremors 2 through 4 in the show. I'm not so sure what they want to do with 5, 6, and 7. Although I think for them at this time, because they have so much respect for Michael, they don't necessarily want to say, well, we're going to get rid of it all. Right now, it is, how can we make a story that has the graboids in a setting that they can actually use? To that point, like I said, Prey and Predators, that's the model kind of being touted behind the scenes right now. Whatever we decide to pitch to Hollywood, it will not be a remake of the first movie. Incredibly important for people. It will not be a remake of the first movie with a new cast, nor will it be a version of our original script for Tremors 5, a question that is frequently sent to the Stampede FAQ. So again, please go to I'm going to pull myself up. Go to down here, visit www.stampede-entertainment.com. Believe me, everything that I am saying, I am either pulling from there or I have my other sources that I can't necessarily tell you about right now. The most important 90% of your good, like solid Tremors information is going to come from this fact site right here. I need people to go here and please start reading this stuff. This is so important. We could all save Tremors if we actually use this site like we're supposed to. I'm waiting for Steve to answer because I've got a lot of questions in there that I kind of designed as like, hey Steve, if you answer this, boom, it can get posted and we can do something so you got it. You, the fan, have to ask questions here. I need it. I need you to, please and thank you. All right, hold on, pull that back up again. So yes, that's there. No remakes, no reboots. It will be a legacy sequel of sorts, if not just a straight up sequel. Not trying to erase canon or anything like that. And then finally, at this part, we are considering ideas that feature the return of Kevin Bacon as Val, but no promises. This is the qualifying statement. We all know that Michael Gross will be involved. They're all great friends together. That will happen. The qualifying statement would either be for for Kevin or for Reba. That's all that Stampede really has to say. It's like, all right, we're trying to get Kevin back and we're trying to get Reba back. Everybody else, we know. I know if they called up Finn Carter right now, she'd be in. If we could somehow resurrect Fred Ward from the dead, man, I would go to hell for that. I'm not joking, folks. If I could resurrect Fred Ward from the dead to do more Tremors movies and be like, that's fine. I will pay for that sin. That's okay. To that point, Debbie is in the chat if you want to see John Bernthal as Earl Bassett's son. Not as Earl Bassett. Nope, we're not doing that. And as I said, they're not remaking with a new cast. Not happening. But as Earl Bassett's son, ooh, that's my bread and butter jam. All right, so that's the first half. All right. considering ideas, trying to figure things out. Not going to be a reboot, not going to be a remake, not going to do the Tremors 5 script. Kevin, and probably that's the other part of it. Reba's probably a maybe too, although Reba's much harder to get than Kevin Bacon is. Time to add a necromancy class to your character sheet. All right. I mean, I'm into it. All right. So does everybody kind of understand what I'm talking about? That's the first part. That's really, and this is the frustrating bit. That was as far as those news outlets like actually read. Besides Cody Hama, I hope Cody is here because this is not. You do a great job, my friend. And I'm not even saying the original writers of the pieces. Like there's Alec DiVincenzo, who wrote the one for Bloody Disgusting. He also took what Cody was saying and used it. It's just the way that those gigantic corporations work is that when they want to put a media thing out there, it's short and this is boom. That's it. You're not getting anything of substance. And although I was sad for personally, where like they put out those tweets, but they don't like link the articles in them. Like here's all these guys writing articles and everybody's just focusing on the tweet, not the article. So those people aren't getting paid for the articles that they're writing even. Angry. Now, that's first part. Incredibly important. Here's, as Shakespeare would say, the rub. Pull that one up, add to stage. How am I doing? Oh, cool. Oh, cool. So that one's there. Yeah. So I have to have my microphone on with this one down. So there's two screens here. Ignore the blank version of me currently. Okay. All right. Oh, that's the other one. Where's the... Hold on. Yeah, I pulled that one up. Oh, wait. I need to pull... There it is. Okay. Hold on. I wonder if I can add to stage. But can I pull myself up? I don't know. Ugh. There it is. Cool. So you can see me. All right. This was honestly the only good news in this update. This first bit right here. Licensing update. One bit of good news. We have made a deal with writer Christian Francis to do a Tremors novelization based on our script, since Universal never did one. Check out his many sci-fi and horror books at echohorror.com. I was going to say the http://echohorror.com. Go to echohorror.com for all of us young people. No. Oh my God. Juan, there will over my dead body will we like bring Fred Ward back with CGI. That is no. It worked in Ghostbusters because I'm going to pull this up because Harold Ramis was a ghost. It works in that narrative. No, man. And I know that though, like Stampede has no desires to do anything like that. That is, please don't disrespect a memory. You can do more than that than just CG. That is, please, especially with someone who's already dead. Like, we can't ask Fred Ward's permission. Like, if I resurrected Fred Ward with necromancy and he was like, kill me, I'd be like, okay, fine. And then I'd kill him. I did say this already. My idea, Hassan, my idea would be to get John Bernthal to play Fred Ward's son. Already said that. I have been saying that one for at least as long as this show has been around. So a solid 3 years of me yelling about John Bernthal should be Fred Ward's son, which I want to get into later after this. I want to discuss how perhaps Melvin is Earl's illegitimate child. So no, we're not doing CGI or anything like that. The thing to focus though on, please focus, is we're getting a Tremors book. We are getting a Tremors novelization from the Echo On Publications, written by Christian Francis. That's huge news. That's awesome. And it's not going to be called a Tremors book either. It's probably going to be called Beneath Perfection, because this is where I'm angry. Beyond that, it is now clear we have no rights to the first movie and no ability to license anything from it. We cannot license, for example, t-shirts with a graboid on them, or even something with the Tremors title logo. The original script was titled Beneath perfection. Therefore, all requests for licensing anything from any of the Tremors films must still be referred to Universal Studios. Sincerely, the Stampede team. This is important, people. That right there. Do you understand? Because I'm going to go into it. This is a rhetorical question. Do you understand what I mean now when I say the name Tremors is kind of a curse? Legitimately. All right. What that means is that if there is a Stampede Entertainment graboid movie, it cannot be titled Tremors. This book that's coming out from Christian Francis, it cannot be titled Tremors. They can't license any, they can't make a Tremors video game. They could barely make a Beneath Perfection video game. Because here's the thing that people aren't realizing about this. Universal has visual IP on everything from that first movie. Now, you're probably wondering, what the fuck does visual IP mean? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of just made it up because I'm trying to define what this is. I have learned through sources that anything that is getting made from Stampede Entertainment cannot use likenesses. They can't use the same designs. So that OG graboid design, technically, Universal paid Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr. to make that because they gave Stampede the money to give to them. While it may have said in the description for the script that it was a large worm with a four-part mouth that opened like a gross flower, that's the description in the script, and it also had spikes on the side. These are the descriptions in the script. That is all that Stampede can use. That is it. I want you to think about that for a moment. And if you're in the chat and I'm going too fast and you don't understand what I'm saying, please let me know because I want to make this clear. They can't use anything that the regular person would recognize comes from a Tremors movie. So with this novelization that's coming up, no artwork can be made that looks like Fred Ward or Kevin Bacon. Burt Gummer with his trademark hat and sunglasses can't be used because in the script he actually looks like Steve. If you look at the storyboards and stuff for Tremors, for Beneath Perfection, Burt Gummer looks like Steve Wilson, guy with glasses, goofy looking guy with glasses. None of that can be used now. None of that. Chang's Market can't be used because Universal paid the contractors to design it and build it. So that entire image can't be used. The truck, the Jeep truck that we all know and love, can't be used because Universal paid to rent or buy that truck. So now it's a part of their visual IP, this visual language. Everything that you and I or most people would associate with the movie Tremors is off limits. The things that Stampede Entertainment actually really has is kind of like the dialogue of the movie and then the idea of an underground creature that hunts by sound and it's named graboids. That's basically it. I'm waiting to hear back from Steve on this. I have a clarification because I'm pretty sure I know that this is how it's going to pull out. That there's a possibility that they can't even cast Michael Gross or Kevin Bacon as Burt and Val because those images, those likenesses are still attributed to that first movie. Hilariously, no. Well, they would actually. So My friend Justin, do they have visual IPs on Rec Rooms? Technically, yes. That one, that wall of guns, that's Universal's visual IP. Isn't this fucked up? This is why I had to do a whole show about this. All right. And I'm kind of, I'm waiting for Caitlin to come home because I really don't want to talk about this, but it is important. I am hoping that of the 23,000 people in the Tremor Saga Facebook group, that somebody out there knows somebody and is watching and can help with this. What about a game room with a wall of swords? See, that's the thing. And this is where I know Steve well enough. I know Steve, I don't know Brent well, but like know him well enough to know, like, why don't we just pull a Tremors 4 again? Why don't we just do that? Because like, why not, man? We can put all of these people in a movie and put it out there and like get it done. Because what they need to do, what Stampede needs to do right now is they have to put out a movie before Universal does, so they can have negotiating power at that table. That is all this is about. That's where trying to make a Predator/Prey movie, like with Graboids, that is the best option of getting something out there and done, so they can have bigger balls to sit down at the table and be like, no, we want the rights to Tremors 2 and 4 now to make a movie or make a TV show. They cannot do that because they have been out so long with Tremors that this whole, like, the way that the legality of it works is it's like, well, I mean, did you really do anything though? That was kind of where Mark Toberoff was kind of upset that that Universal had made the 3 Tremors movies in like 5 years. Because if they hadn't done that, the way they did that means that they can claim, well, I mean, we kept Tremors alive. That's the whole thing Universal's saying here. Oh, well, it's because of us that it exists. Not because of Stampede and everything that they did. Universal is laying down their foot and being like, no, this happened because of us. Like, there's no way you guys would have never been able to do anything if we hadn't given you the money in the first place to do that. That's where the whole point of it's there. We have to still wait a little while to get the script for. Oh, that one's dying. I'm just going to let that die. That's fine. To get the script for Tremors 2. Remember, 35 years. But then also, here's the flip side on top of that. That means it's so much harder to get that script because it wasn't one that Stampede was working on before Universal. Universal asked them to make a sequel, and they did. That means that's Universal paying Stampede to make something. Do you see this reoccurring theme that's kind of happening here? This idea that, oh, because I gave you money, that means I own you. I gave you money so that I own what you are now. This is the frustrating bit. Because as someone that doesn't get paid for this and does all of this and sees that they don't really get paid for it either, and they're still fucking trying, it's bullshit. It's absolute narcissistic bullshit. And I got 6 people here, and none of you are saying anything. I'm assuming this news landed in your lap like I was hoping it did, because it should. It's not a good. That's where are we gonna get another Tremors movie? Yes and no. Yes and no. And oh, that reminds me. I did have it here. So now we've hit past, we hit present, now we hit future. All right. And I know this for a fucking goddamned fact that Universal is already putting their own Tremors movie into production. I know it. I have called it the last 2 times it's happened before it happened. And I recently learned that while Bill Watterson was working on a Tremors movie, it's technically Tremors 9. He was told it's Tremors 9. There was a Tremors 8 also being worked on at the same time. After Universal basically said, we're going to kill Burt Gummer, we're done with Tremors, not a couple months later did they say, actually, we're not done with Tremors. Let's make 2 more Tremors movies. Let's put them into production. Let's make this happen. And then Universal 1440 folded, and those 2 movies went under. But that desire is still there. If they can put in 2 movies into production that fast after killing off their main character, trust me, they're going to do it again. They want to do it right now. That's why they have no problem fighting for that goddamn name. And I will say, and I'm with this, I'm with a lot of people on this where it's like, well, hey, Stampede Entertainment, they can make a movie, they don't call it Tremors, but they call it Graboids, or they call it Above Perfection or something like that. I'm honestly fine with that. I think that's a really cool idea. And like, let's get it out there and make it happen. Also, let's not delude ourselves that the common movie-going public will have no idea what the fuck that means. That is the legitimate concern with that. Is that, yeah, totally. You can totally be like, yeah, fucking, it's got Graboids and there's Perfection and there's Burt and Val. Yeah, yeah. But people will be like, but why isn't it called Tremors? Every time. That stupid fucking name. And I know my podcast is called Talking Tremors. I have had legitimate thoughts the last couple of days of like, I should rename my podcast to Beneath Perfection. Honestly, just call it Beneath Perfection. Like, or Perfection's Podcast or something. I don't know. That's when it comes to the Tremors zine, I'm actually thinking of changing the name to Perfection Publications or the Graboid Gazette. I'm not sure yet. I'm working on that because this concept of like, oh, you can't use the name Tremors is really fucking terrifying. And after I read this news, I texted Steve and it was like, all right, so hey, I had a couple of things I needed to ask him in the first place. Exactly. Sorry. Yeah, Juan, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So Juan says, so all they have is dialogue and the name Graboid. So I'm trying to think of something, but it's hard. All I can see is a new design of a Graboid and a new town, new movie name. That's it. It is. That is the reality we're living in. They can, Stampede could go to Universal and ask them, hey, let's call it a Tremors movie. Let's use these things or whatever. But then Universal they don't want to do that. They don't. They really don't. There was a reason that we weren't able to play Tremors 2 through 7 at Tremors Fest this year because Universal put their foot down on like, no, we don't want any part. You guys got to get out. Stampede Entertainment's got to get out. We don't want you. So that's where we're at with this right now. That's where Steve, like, coming up with the novelization, coming up with ideas that doesn't have Universal because they have to make one without them first, no matter how fucking hard that is. And like I said, I texted Steve. I asked him I had some questions about whether or not he wanted to attend a convention. And then Branscombe Richmond also has a production company out in Hawaii that I'm like, hey, why don't you, hey, I'd love to hook you guys up. He's always talking my ear off about trying to make some kind of like Hawaiian Tremors movie, or he's got a ranch in Kentucky, some kind of Kentucky Tremors movie. It's like, hey, let's make this happen. And then I asked Steve, because he was on a podcast last week, and I was like, hey, Steve, want to come on my podcast? Let's go. I want you here, Steve Wilson, to tell all these people in the chat just that what the fuck is happening. Like, legitimately. But at the end, my fourth questions were like, hey, how are you? How are you doing? Because I know that that's got to fucking hurt. Like, after all this time, the goddamn name Tremors is the legal sticking point there. That stupid fucking name. And I get it. I told him, I was like, I can see how mad Michelle was. Like, and see, this is like, yeah. So then Juan over here. Well, we also had Aftershocks Adventures from Hamza Hassan. And then Juan is Beneath the Surface. Sounds a good title. You can't use They Crawl Beneath. Damn it. Or Slither, because those are titles already. I have The Subterranean on a webbook. Titles are tricky. No, they're incredibly important, especially when it comes to something like this with such a huge IP. It would be like calling the Fast and the Furious Cargo Move. Like, you'd still be like, what? Where is this? What's happening? And I know, and I told Steve, I was like, I know how upsetting that probably was. Like, after, and I'm going to come, it's my fault. I'm fully prepared to take the blame that I got their hopes up. I am fully prepared. And I told him that. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm the one that got you into this, and now you're here, and it feels like it's just none of it's worth it. And it's very disheartening. I'm incredibly sad. Not even for me. It's just like, no, I did. I gave them hope. I still hope they have some. And obviously from that update, they're not giving up yet. They're not doing that. It's just, that is a blow. That is a crushing blow, especially after the 35 years of fans asking for some kind of merch, some kind of toy, some kind of game, some kind of anything. And Universal will still probably just sit on this and not do anything with it like they always do. They'll pop out a movie, but they won't actually, they'll make a shirt every now and then, but they won't actually do something like legitimately that fans want. So where's this all going? I don't know yet. But again, I would beg everyone watching this show right now, please visit www.stampede-entertainment.com and get your information. God damn it, Justin. They could take the rights back they have and incorporate a time traveling Tesla to Jurassic Trail and reestablish the universe nomenclature. That's too much effort. I understand what you're going for there. Really, the best bet right now is to just start making stuff. That's where it said the predators, because the predator is but Predators/Prey is a really great model for what needs to happen right now. Just get in there, establish more canon. Don't erase it. That's where I can't say going back in time and erasing the canon. Don't do that. Just establish more canon, because that's what Stampede needs right now. They need to be able to go to Universal with like, the things that people associate with Tremors are us. They are these things. This is why people come to Tremors. It's not what you brought to the table. It's what we've been bringing to the table. Look at that. Here's our numbers. We made this movie. We made it for $10 million. We made $100 million. Now give us the rights to the other ones, because we can do this. We can physically go out and do this. That's where the important bit lies right now. Does anybody have any questions? I can't believe I actually got that done in under an hour, because I've been so upset by it. It's just, and then like, seriously, and the information's right there, people, and you're just, they're not choosing to use it. Yes, Juan, you're talking about the gachapon. But that only counts because they're doing it in Japan. Like Universal, like they don't really have jurisdiction over there. I mean, they can, but it's fucking Japan. Just Google the list of synonyms for Tremors. We have Foreshock, Earthshock, and Tremble. See, no, and that's, you're in the wrong ballpark. I'm gonna stop you. I'm not yes-anding you. It's not about the name Tremors. Do you understand why the name Beneath Perfection is so goddamn good? Because that's what the story is about. It's what's beneath perfection. It's the graboids. There's also the underlying current of the tensions between the townspeople beneath perfection. Perfection it's not perfect. It's greasy and dirty, and we're going beneath it. We don't need a name like Tremors. That's not necessary. Don't be looking up synonyms for Tremors. That's not the important bit. There is a beautiful writing to a title like Beneath Perfection. That's where I don't blame them for going so hard on it. I can see it. I love it. I fucking do love it. Just call it varying forms of, perfection. Honestly, that's my thought. If I was to take it, it'd be like, look, if that's the fucking title we got, guess what, man? We're going to have around perfection. We're going to have above perfection. We're going to have imperfection. We're going to have across perfection. We're going to have beyond perfection. Like all of these things. That's the real fucking time. Use that perfection, because that's the, we're learning this in the Tremor Saga Facebook group the last couple of weeks, that Tremors is about community. That's the number one theme. Everybody wants to call it shooting the worms and Burt Gummers and big explosions and stuff. But perfection is the true theme of Tremor. Like, and I don't mean actual attainable perfection. I mean the town. We make perfection. And I love Perfection Grounds. See, there you go. Juan's getting it. So Justin over here says, get Schwarzenegger for Beneath Perfection. Tagline, it's not the tremor. It's not the tremor. Listen, I see the cardboard. The cardboard is coming. That's a good one. I will eat an olive for that one. Worth it. All right, so Hamza Hassan, get the comic publishers on the line. Get some crossovers out there or original stories. Currently working on it. Working on it. Hold on. Olive softball. Thank you, Justin. Working on it. That's part of what I'm trying to do with the Tremors zine or the Perfection publication or the Graboid Gazette. The comic book guys got their own deal. They're doing it over there. It's a little harder for them to start crossing over because they still need license from stuff like Aliens or Predator or anything like that. The only reason those comic books from Akitas Comics have been able to slide by is because of this current copyright issue. They're not licensed. Those comics are not licensed. Anything I would do, still not licensed. They are approved by Stampede, which is more of a, hey, we don't mind you doing it. You know, that's the point of this bad baby. You know, is it licensed? No, it's approved. You know, it may be a niche self-indulgent porn comic, but it's still done. Look at that. Look at that baby. By the way, pre-orders for this are on sale currently right now. I will put a link in the description. I will make sure I do that. But check it out on Facebook. Go check out Ben Sword. Ben Sword on the Tremor Saga Facebook group and check out his art and lovely stuff. He is amazing. This book is finally up for pre-orders again. Be more than me. I got my 3 copies. I've been watching Sharknado and wondered if Tremors had a silly ass title, Wormquake. And again, it wouldn't be Tremors. That's my biggest thing with people. Is it's much like what about an aquatic graboid? That's just a shark. I think you're missing the point here. Like Tremors isn't meant to be schlocky B-movie affair. I recently watched all the Lake Placid movies and talk about, I mean, I was entertained, but talk about some shit. That was not great. And it made me very grateful that Tremors never reached Lake Placid levels of sequels. Like, wow. But it's not meant to be like that. The reason Tremors is so well renowned as a series, not just that first movie, but at least 1, 2, 3, 4 and the show. And I'll even give Don Michael Paul some credit too. He still tries. Is that Tremors takes itself seriously. Not too seriously, but it takes itself the appropriate amount of serious. That we're not laughing at people dying, that people are making smart decisions, that it's not your typical horror movie. The idea is you want to turn the tropes on its head. That's what makes Tremors powerful as a series. Is it's a parody that takes itself seriously. What am I thinking? Galaxy Quest. Galaxy Quest is a great example of a movie that also does the same thing. It's a parody that takes its subject matter very seriously because it assumes that we're all human and that we have human problems and human lives and that terrible things may happen, wacky things may happen. We're still going to have a very human response to that. So anytime people want a Sharknado Tremors, I'm like, please just make something else. That's not beneath perfection. That is something called Tremors. That is something called Graboids. That is something called Wormquake. You know, you can go out there and make it. You're going to have a lot harder time selling it to anybody. Like even harder time than fucking Universal had when they were trying to sell it the first time. It just doesn't. There's a humanity to it that's incredibly important. And I speak to from the filmmaker aspect of having made 5 Tremors movies, working on, actually, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. I made 4 Tremors movies, working on 5 and 6 currently. Having done this, that tone is the most important. Getting my effects work done and getting all that, kind of easy, kind of fun. In the editing bay of getting that tone right and making sure I have a good enough script beforehand that tone translates through, that's the most important. To the point where, since Justin's here, one of my favorite jokes I've ever written for anything, and it was Tremors, this was Tremors related, was when we did Tremors Hunting Ground. That's that poster back there. And Justin and our characters blow up the graboid, and there's guts flying everywhere. It's gross. It's disgusting. And, we're sitting there together, and, Justin's character says, so do you think, like, my grandpappy was in that worm that you blew up? And I'm like, oh, I didn't even think of that. And they start arguing about, are you saying I'm wearing him right now? I didn't know. Well, and then Justin punches me in the face. But this concept of yeah, we just blew up this worm. It's huge. It's great. Hold on. There was a person inside. Oh my God. That's dark and funny, but it's also very real of oh my God, we're out here because this thing ate my grandpa. Now my grandpa is on me physically. Think about that next time you're watching Tremors, that when they blow up that worm they blow up the worm at the end, the first one at least, not Stumpy, that maybe Nestor's inside, maybe Walter's inside, maybe the road workers are inside, maybe that one had Dr. Jim and Megan inside of it, and it blew up, and those townspeople were covered in the guts of their friends. That's the Tremors tone. That's it. It is funny from an outsider perspective. There is still a reality to that you still play serious. You play it straight. And that's Steve, the podcast I listened to, the Chew on That podcast, by the way, the Chew on That podcast. And he was talking about, no, we have to play it straight. He was specifically talking about Short Circuit too with that, but playing it straight is why this works. If you don't play it straight, if you try to make it big and comical, it's, what are you doing? Just do something else instead. That tone is important. So yeah, okay. That's that. I'm surprised, honestly, guys. I thought you would be questioning me a bit more, so I really appreciate that you didn't question me. I'm trying my best here. If you have any more questions about the Stampede Entertainment Rights stuff, let me know. I want to move on to a few more things. I don't really want to take up too much time today. I didn't talk about these last time, and I really wanted to talk about them. Justin says the graboids never really had due process. No, they did not. That's where I'm a big fan of not trying to kill them all the time. I think there's a greater narrative potential to asking the question about whether or not we should kill this billion-year-old creature that's been on this planet longer than we have. Whether it might be killing people, and I know that would be an argument Burt Gummer would make, but then from a scientific perspective, you'd be like, these creatures are very important scientifically. That fact was not lost on me. When it was all over, I saw that one of the little SOBs was just stunned, so I detained him. Ha! I think that needs to be incorporated in one of the 3 working projects. Oh yeah. The problem is that currently, with the narratives that I have set up, everybody's reacting in real time. So there's no chance for a government intervention yet. That was the point of what I was setting up with the boardroom scene. Specifically, was that I wanted it to be known that this was a problem. So then there's an actual government agency that can come in and sort that out. Currently, with the other one, the 2 that I've got working, and yours, Justin, these are people in the moment reacting to things. If anything, I think Shifting Sands has an opportunity for that, at least a little bit. That's always what I was trying to tell you about the revenge angle, was that it's good, but what about that? Should I be killing that thing? This creature. Yeah, exactly. Nice. We're on the same page, Justin. Lots of blank space in Shifting Sands. All right, cool. So I wanted to talk about, I am really super proud of the Facebook group right now, the Tremor Saga Facebook group. After I posted I'm the trans woman that made this group, and it fucking blew up, and we got 1,000 people in a week, and so many queer creators, and I am absolutely floored by 4 individuals in particular. They are Comrade Burt Gummer, Comrade Earl's Graboid Hunting Service, Comrade Grady, Shrieker Slayer, and Comrade Ass Blaster's Feral Femboy Service. That last one's a bit odd, but hey, I'm into it. But I love seeing that these people went, hey, there's a vacuum for Tremors memes. let's literally make leftist Tremors memes our lives. And I appreciate the fuck out of you guys so much. Thank you for making the group better. Thank you for making the group more fun. I just love seeing more memes. I'm glad I've been able to participate in making the memes. There's not many things that make me happier than when I make a meme template and other people use it. I don't know. There's a beautiful artistry to that like I just put two images together and it helped other people communicate. It is I cannot describe how awesome that is. That is so cool. And I told Caitlin, I was like, I could put watermarks on my stuff, but I don't want to. I want, this is communist. Like this, yes, comrade, my meme is your meme. It's our meme. It's kind of awesome. And I wanted to pull up a couple, at least from the ones, just because like they're doing so good on this. Wasn't really planning this, but this is too cool. I was making sure I had some time here. And I wanted to make sure. But this is also why I brought my phone, because I have so many of these saved. It's easier to do it from my phone than it is to put it on the computer and pull it up from there. Hold on. Uh-oh. I didn't disappear. I'm good. Sorry. Hold on. Well, let's see. This is, hold on, come on. This is one of mine. Pop up, baby. I know you want to. Come on, do it. Yeah. My memes are long-winded. I can't say I'm funny as a meme maker. I like to be informative. Memes are the ultimate way to present information to people. Because it's quick, it's fast. If you're going to use a headline, make it memeable. Let's see. I made a bunch last night. I was having fun. Honestly, hold on. I'll pull this one up just because we should all. This is my humor. How about that? How about this is one that is truly what I think is funny. That, come on. That's solid. You love it. Like, look at that. And that's what she says. I go for penetration. I know you. Awesome. All right. Mike's back. Let me know in the chat if Mike's back. I'm pretty sure. Not Mike Mycelium. Although I did enjoy all the memes that guy created because of how stupid he was. It just brings me so much joy. Let's see. I want to try to find a Comrade Burt Gummer one because it's interesting seeing different people's styles of meme making. Come on. Holy shit, I've made a lot. Jesus Christ. My phone is filled with this shit, people. Fucking filled. Come on, Comrade. Where are you at? I got a lot of Tremors pouring on here, too. Jeez, most of these are mine. Wow, I've been off. Wow. I did not realize how many memes I've been making, like, right now. This is a lot. Come on. Hold on. Oh, I know which one it was. Hold on. I'm getting there. I appreciate everybody's patience while I go, yeah, just making mouth noises with my face. Really? I'm pretty sure I saved that one last night. Where'd it go? Come on. I didn't. 1 second. I did not save these. Let me go journey for here a minute. Wow, that's a good one. But I specifically. Oh, I got to make sure I show Matt Hawkins too. There I am. Come on, comrade. Wow, where is everybody? I appreciate. Okay, this show has now gone off the rails. It is just me looking at my phone trying to find fucking memes. Wow. Okay, hold on. Comrade, where you at, bro? Where you at? Come on. Yeah. Ugh. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I need to pull this one up because I'm vain that way. I need to look. Hold on. Check. Let you go. Where, oh God, everything's freaking out on me. Maybe I can't show you guys memes. Wow, it would be hilarious if that's the thing that gets this show taken down. This one, honestly, I made this template and I didn't know what to do with this template, and I just put it up as a template on the group. And there was a terrible one from that Alex PXE guy, but then Andrew McGuire got in, and then Comrade Bert Gummer got in, and then Josh Sauer got in, and I'm just like, this is. But this one right here, like me, Levi bringing us fresh, beautiful content, MAGA chuds innocently trying to hate others, and then Comrade Grady for some fucking reason. I just love this so much. Because I worked really hard to make sure I got that tiny little bitty frame of Grady in there, and it's just beautiful. But I'm so happy for this. My point being is this: I'm not going to spend more time trying to find a fucking meme that I should have been able to find. We will leave that be as is. But that's, I don't know. I think it's really cool anytime someone makes things. I think creation is one of the best things that us as human beings can do. And whether or not you're making something with a meme, or you're making something with a video, or you're making writing, Brian Frisbee in the Facebook group been writing those Tremors poems. I love those. Those are so cool. Like, I'm just like, oh, fucking, we getting Tremors poetry. Okay, I'm into this. Let's go, baby. That's fun. And then the crossovers. Then Aaron Kendall got me watching Trailer Park Boys because he had his Tremors Trailer Park Boys crossovers, and then I made one. I was like, oh my God, that's what I love about memes, is this like sharing back and forth idea of all of us like conglomerating and working together. It is very communist to use that parlance of those people, but it's so fucking. I think that's so cool. There's a guy out there I want to give a shout out to. He's probably not watching, but Andrew Bradford, if you're out there, I would love to have you on the show. I love speaking to you, my friend. I wish I could help you more with what you're doing. Same way I wish I could help Wayne Prickett, if you're out there. This is for both of you that, hey, I'm watching, I'm listening, I'm doing what I can with what I got. You are in my heart and my mind, and you're here and there. Currently, right now, this show, honestly, I want to be done in the next 15 minutes. So probably not a good idea for you to come in, but I appreciate you all the same. Blood is red. Earl's truck is blue. I found a graboid using an RC. I'll make it go towards you. Oh, that's kind of adorable. See, I love it. Poetry. Tremors poetry. And I will pull up a meme because I really wanted to talk about this too. That I don't even know what the fuck I was thinking. Hold on. Can I pull it? Oh yeah, I can go right to PixArt. I know where this one's at because I made it. It's in my folder here. I really need to go through my phone and sort everything. I have, what was it? I think I have like 10,000 screenshots of Tremor stuff. Like screenshots. Just fucking, it's 9,978 or something like that last time I checked. But yes, this one right here. All right. This idea, though, I want this. As much as I want John Bernthal to play Fred Ward's son, I had this idea recently. So there's a question that always gets asked in any Tremors fandom or anywhere. Where are Melvin's parents? Who are Melvin's parents? Why the fuck is there this like 14-year-old kid alone in this town of nobody? And the answer is, it's actually in the script, and it was something that was shot and filmed, is that they go to Vegas regularly to gamble, and they leave him behind. The specific line is, man, why don't his parents ever take him to Vegas with him? You got to ask that. That is. So that's where Melvin's parents are during the course of the movie. Can I pull that up? I bet I can. Yeah, cool. So that's there. They're gone. But I had this thought, like looking at like Robert Jane is a sexy, sexy man in his old age. Very silver fox. He's pumping iron. I don't know what the fuck pumping iron means. That was weird. Yeah, it's true. You have a lot of stuff on your phone. You don't know why. It's just there. I know why it's there. For me, it's just a lot. But like looking at Robert Jane and then looking at Fred Ward, especially in Tremors 2, I was noticing a lot of similarities. I was kind of like, damn, I see. Hold on a minute. What if the reason we really don't know who Melvin's parents are is that Melvin's mom had a one-night stand with Earl, got knocked up, but then, she was dating some guy, ended up later, and basically told that guy, well, you're the father. They had sex later, and she was like, you're the father of Melvin. And he just assumed that. Maybe there's some resentment there. We can obviously infer that Melvin is not coming from a great home if his parents are going to fucking Vegas and leaving him in this town. It's a pretty good inference. Then I was thinking, I was like, man, out of everybody in the movie, Earl is the one that is always chastising Melvin. Like, seriously. Touch that truck and die. Melvin, one of these days someone's going to kick your ass. Damn it, I'm going to kick his ass. Like, I need to clip those because he does. Earl says that when they're on the horse. One of these days someone's going to kick your ass. And then later when he pulls it with the basketball, damn it, I'm going to kick his ass. I'm going to help you. And there's one more. You're going to knock it off. You're going to be shitting this basketball. That you could infer that maybe they have a greater relationship than it seems. And I even made the joke when I made this post on Facebook that there is the line, son, beer is for adults. So that's where this meme comes from. Mom said dad left when I was little. I never knew him. Well, son, it's time we have a beer as adults. Maybe Melvin is Earl's illegitimate child. And John Bernthal can still be his kid. Or his brother. People have always, I've had that pointed out where John Bernthal's actually about like much older than he seems. He's about 50 or so. So, things, time is wibbly wobbly. But this idea right here that perhaps Melvin might be Earl's son is really, it's interesting. It doesn't change anything. I'm not going to your house and changing the VHS. It's just something to think about, just like the idea that Val is trans. Man, I don't know, maybe. Or my favorite one, that Val died at the end of the first movie and he went off the cliff with the graboid. And then the next movie is Earl's hallucinations and he's making up Grady. I fucking love that goddamn theory. It's so stupid, but it is really fucking good. So there's one. And then I talked about this last night physically, but I wanted to do it again because I said I would. Then I want to talk about Fred Ward. Look at this man. Look at that. Look at the facial expressions on this. I have often talked about on the show how good of acting it is that for the first half of this movie, Fred Ward is terrified. He is fucking shitting his pants most of the time. And Grady is all happy-go-lucky. Hey, man, that's going to be the first ride of my theme park. God damn, I'm just eating olives out of my ass. But there's a switch that happens when they see Pedro's arms on the truck. Oh, wow. I'm not even going to read that one out loud, Juan, because that's dark. Talk about the Finding Nemo theory here, that Marlin made up Nemo finding his son. Wow. That's, whew. But there's a switch that happens in Tremors 2 where when they find Pedro's arms on the truck and Earl does whole new goddamn ball game, that Earl like flips. And he goes from a man that has PTSD to a man that knows what to do. He's more decisive. He's making plans. He's thinking on his feet. It's not the same Earl that you see at the beginning of the movie. He's a man that like has he needed that fear, that little bit of that fear to drive him. And then at the same time, Grady actually starts realizing how out of his depth he is and starts shitting his pants all over. They have switched. They have gone. They have taken the hero sidekick roles and they have finally switched them. And in this moment right here at the very end, where Grady says, "No, I got you all into this. I'm the reason you're here. Spray me." And then Earl makes this face. This is some incredible acting here. That Earl has been annoyed with Grady for most of this movie. Oh, Grady, damn it, Grady, we ain't dead yet. But right here, the way he is staring at Grady with recognition in his eye, like he is like, hold on, who is this kid? I've been shitting on this kid for the last like week. Yeah, and that's a great scene. That's why it's my favorite scene. It's the trigger scene from "All right, I got this" to "Oh shit, let's go." But this right here, like Fred Ward has an amazing facial expression, and a lot of people like to criticize him in these movies for overacting. I would entirely disagree. That it goes back to that tone thing I was talking about. That when you play it straight, when you play these movies serious, you get way better results than trying to be silly. And that's what Fred Ward's doing right here. This is an incredibly serious moment. And it's in this moment that he's deciding that, no, I will be the hero. And I said it on my post that it looks like he's seeing Val again for the first time in however many years. He's seeing that naive bravado come out in another person, and he has some hope. He has some belief again, and it is beautiful acting from Fred. It's just this. It's about 1.5 seconds. It's this, and then there's another moment right before it. But I was making memes when I found this. I was trying to find a good angle on Fred to make this meme for Galaxy Quest thing. And I spotted this, and I was like, that is just, I don't want to look at me. I want to pull that up all the way just to do one more. Like, look at that. That is not acting that you see in movies of this type. That is rare. Michael Gross does the same thing. Michael Gross has that moment in this movie with the completely out of ammo line, and everybody focuses on the "I am completely out of ammo," but it's his eyes after he's finished saying it. He's not speaking a word, but I'll even pull myself up. Like Michael Gross's eyes, like in that. That's never happened to me before. Like, he is thinking about every fucking decision he has ever made in his life and how it has led to this very moment that he is now out of ammo. And it's not anything that's written. There's no dialogue or anything like that. It is just Michael Gross and his face. And it is amazing acting. And I hope Patrick Spears is here, or Patrick Spears listens later, but he's entirely right. Reba has that too in the first movie where, Earl starts going off and she gets that like, there's very husband and wife there of like great acting. It's the difference between good acting and acting. Acting is reacting. Good acting is thinking ahead and always, knowing exactly where all these pieces are. You should have that script 100% memorized forwards and back. So that way, you know how the next piece plays into the next. So that you're in that moment. You are in that moment. Yeah, Juan, I'm not going to read that. Yeah, if you're gonna pull Disney's Snow White woke thing, I'm not interested. Anybody that uses the term woke unironically just kind of doesn't don't get a pass from me. I'm not saying I don't think that Snow White movie was good, and I'm pretty sure it was trash, and I don't ever fucking want to see it. However, to do the woke thing and all that jazz, no, I'm not into that. It's not. Come on, come up with a better reason. Come up with a real reason. Like, how about this? And this is where I say, like, Snow White woke. Like, are you sure about that? If they really wanted to be woke, they would have cast actual, what is it, dwarves or midgets? They would have cast actual short people to play the dwarves instead of just CGIing them. okay. If The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings can get away with it, there's some that you could, and those people were still tall, but like, come on. No. That's the dumb thing. Rachel Zegler is what, honestly, I love her. She's great. Gal Gadot, Zionist. Oh my God. I do. Woo-hoo, watching the Fast and the Furious movies, and I see her pop up. I'm like, oh God. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, I love Rachel Zegler, specifically for The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. She's got my number on that. She wins. But to call it woke is to miss maybe what might be the greater points of it all. It's not just about race casting. And trust me, Stampede is not going to do anything like that. As they have always done, the characters will service the story before they service an agenda. That's why they are woke. That's why they are progressive. That's why they are diverse, is because they say, well, what's the actual thing that works for this? Okay, let's make it like specific example is that in the very first Tremors movie, Walter Chang was originally named Pham Van because there was a lot of Vietnamese immigrants at the time they were writing the script. When they casted Victor Wong, he said, well, I'm not actually Vietnamese. And rather than go, well, yeah, but you know what, they're all the same, they went like, oh, well, you're Chinese. Let's just make the guy Chinese then. That works for the story. That works for what you're doing. That's writing to the reality. That's diversity. Like diversity is just writing what you see around you. You should not just be homogenized and seeing white people or your own race, not just white people, but your own race all the time. No, see, okay. And again, Juan, love you. I'm gonna just be like, really? No, buddy. You are articleized. That take right there, that is exactly the thing that I'm railing about here. Or and this is Juan speaking, or by the sense that I'm trying to, hold on, let me read it. Or by the sense I'm trying to make it, don't push that stuff out during your movie. Tremors did it with taxes, but in a somewhat good way. That's what I'm trying to get. Not too hard. Said, no, it's still going to happen. That's the point, is that's writing. Like, you're going to get these things. That's the whole point of like what has been happening in this Tremor Saga Facebook group, is that there is an inherent nature to writing, that you're going to have these things come out. It's not pushing an agenda. That is the nature of the world. All right. I'm trans, Juan. Remember that. All right. You're listening to a show from a trans woman. So think about your audience here. Colby P checking in. Hey, Colby P is reminding me. Colby P checking in. I can't believe I catch your lives without notifications. So fun. So make sure if you want to be here for the live show, that you go to @the Tremor Saga on YouTube, click that subscribe button, and then click it again and click all notifications. There's only going to be notifications from this YouTube channel that are specifically about the live. You're not going to get anything else, but you will be notified when I go live on this stream, so you do not miss anything. This is your true hub for Tremors news. This, and visit www.stampede-entertainment.com. That's it. Everything I'm getting is either from here or from these lovely books written by my friends. Everything's about to fall over there. I should have grabbed these differently. Oh God. These books, all right? These books or stampedeentertainment.com. These are your sources. I do what I can with what I got. Oh my God. All these comic books fell over. Ugh. I wasn't prepared. I didn't think of the men. I miscounted the men, Liz. So yes, that's a. Yep. Turn the notifications on. Thank you very much. Click that bell and put notifications on to everybody. So yeah, that's that. So we hit. I got my last thing that I want to talk about here. Please, everybody, go buy this comic by my friend. Well, Pangea Starseed is their internet name. In real life, I know them as Ben Swart. Ben wrote this comic, No Breakfast, a Val and Earl love comic. So that's where, man, Juan, if you're going to come at me about woke stuff, we got LGBTQ right here. All right. Like, this is some gay representation. And I must state that whether or not I fully agree with this interpretation, I can agree that this is incredibly well done. I am of the opinion that Val and Earl are in a polycule with Rhonda. They are bisexual. They swing both ways. They're cowboys riding on either end of the saddle. And you know what? Even in this, I'm not saying that would still be away from there. You know, Rhonda could come in. You know, Ben and I have talked about that. But this book is amazing. The art in it is fabulous. The Steve Wilson owns a signed copy of this. Finn Carter owns a signed copy of this. And yeah, look at that. If you're going to sit there and tell me that you don't want to read this because it's of the woke agenda, I'm going to tell you you're missing out. This is fabulous, fabulous artwork. I will make sure to put a link to this in the description. Pre-orders are on now. It is only $20 a piece for 32 pages of just lovely goodness. And I can't show you all the pages. That's how it works. But it is beautiful, and I love it all the same. Like, look at that. Look at that trans Val and my boys be kissing. But please, please, please buy my friend Ben's book. Support him in all that he does. And maybe we'll get, more stuff. But check out Etsy at Pangea Starseed. That's Pangea, like the continent, the supercontinent that used to be all of us. Yes, like, please. No Breakfast, a niche and self-indulgent Tremors porn comic. Absolutely amazing. Whew, cool, awesome. Everybody, if you want to ask me some final questions, I would love to wrap it up because I think I did a really good job today. And I want to go watch Too Fast, Too Furious. I'm not going to lie. The only reason you're getting this show is because Caitlin had to go to the store. And I was like, man, we've been watching. So we started with, is it 7? It's Furious 7. The one where Paul Walker dies. All of the movies are a staple in my house. And as Caitlin said, I watch Fast and the Furious when I'm depressed. And honestly, she hit me really good with that, where I watch Fast and Furious when I'm depressed. I watch monster movies when I'm thinking about stuff. I watch horror movies when I'm excited. And comedy is usually when I'm not thinking of anything. Comedy is usually my brain is off moment. Oh, cool, Kobe. That's cool. Colby P is going to be, thank you for the live, one more subscriber, and I'm going to do my first live video on my channel. That's awesome. Please let me know. I'll try to find your channel right there. And then Juan, Primitive War, don't know it, look it up, have that plot, but in perfection as graboids. Again, I were you listening to me earlier? Like the perfection thing, just not on the table. It's not on the table right now. It really is not. Like it's just not. God damn it! I spent an hour and a half talking about this one. Like it's not in the cards. A Predators / Prey movie, definitely that is in the cards. Return to Perfection, that has to happen afterwards. It cannot happen before. Stampede needs a bigger dick to swing. That's my best way of saying it. I remember watching the auction after the movie and nobody wanted the cars. Oh shit! Hold on. What was it? Oh yeah, they sold for like 10K to 20K. So that's I can't see the full thing up there, so I need to read it from the other one over here. But yeah, if you guys want to ask me, please now ask me any questions that I did not answer, and I will answer them as best as I can to my abilities. Because like I said, I really want to go watch Too Fast, Too Furious. We started with Furious 7, and then 8, Fate of the Furious, and then we switched over to Hobbs and Shaw, which I'm not gonna lie, I like Hobbs and Shaw more than I might like the other later Fast and the Furious movies. That is such a refresher. And I was even thinking about it in terms of Tremors like that, where it's like, man, just take that idea, just sidewind it. Everybody wants to focus on the canon and everything that you can do. A real writer will tell you that, man, you can make an entire story all the way over here that never fucking references what originally happened, and it still be a great story. What was I thinking of? Was it Was it? Because it wasn't Tremors. Oh, it was. Shit. On this note, Lake Placid. So Lake Placid Legacy. I think it's Legacy. It does that. It's got a whole new group of people, like a crocodile, kind of the same crocodile, but in a different area. And it's not. It's the fifth or sixth one, and it's better than 2, 3, 4, 5. Like legitimately. Like what the fuck? Although Lake Placid versus Anaconda, terrible movie. Oh my god, I can now say I've seen something really bad. And as a fun note too, there's a character named Reba in 3 of the Lake Placid movies that is basically the female version of Burt Gummer. I need to make a post about it in the Facebook group because I'm just like, what the fuck? This is amazing. So yeah, any last questions? Like I said before, I like really round it up here, and I want to go watch The Fear. Babe, are you here? Nope. Caitlin is not here. So you got time until she at least comes home, because I love her more than I love all of you guys. I'm sorry. It's true. That's why I married her. She was confused when I was like, yeah, no, if you're going to leave, I'm going to do a show. She's like, oh, well, I mean, I don't, wait, what do you, like, why do you have, I was like, because I don't want to just like talk by myself for fucking an hour and a half. If you're around, I would rather sit and watch stupid movies with you. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to all. Happy Zombie Jesus to everybody. But again, if there's no more questions, I will wrap this up. Thank you to everyone that's been here today. Thank you to Juan and Colby P and Justin and Jeff and Kevin of the Sons and Shadows. I know it was just Jeff, but I'm going to thank both Jeff and Kevin. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to Cody Haman, who wrote the original article that I've been railing about here that got bastardized into a headline. Thank you so much. Thank you to Alex DiVincenzo for also doing the same thing again. I do have some Tremors Fest updates, but you know what? Those will come later. If you really need to know more about Tremors Fest and you gotta get your schedule right, talk to me. I'll be here. Because there's a couple of things that are happening there. What else? Leela Lee's got a signing or two in the next weeks. There's Michael Gross and Finn Carter will be up in Niagara Falls. Hey, Afro Pugsley, you have missed the whole show. I'm sorry, man. You're going to really want to go back and listen to this one. I'm about done. It's going to be a short episode, but there's a lot of information in here that, especially someone like you, who's a really good fan, you need to know. You need to know this, Afro. I did my best. There's a lot to this headline. There's a lot here that people are missing. Let's see. Thank you to I gotta pull it here. Thank you to Octavio Lopez San Juan and Jonathan Melville for writing these great books, which makes it easier to do this. Like, yeah, Afro Pugsley. Go to the channel, go to @the Tremor Saga YouTube channel, click the subscribe, and then click the subscribe again afterwards. So then you can see notifications, and then click all notifications, and you will be notified every time I go live on this channel. There's no other videos that will give you notifications for that. It is just the live videos, so you don't miss out, because I really do love having you here. You have a great grasp on the Tremors franchise. I appreciate the Beneath Perfection franchise is what we're calling it now. But thank you. Again, thank you to these guys. Please go buy their books. If you want to support Stampede Entertainment, go buy Steve's books. Tucker's Monster, Frady Cats, and Frady Cats 2. Please and thank you. If you want them, Steve said he's even coming out with a new book, the Zoo Ship script. He took the Zoo Ship script that he has and he turned it into a book. So we're gonna get a 4th Steve Wilson book. And I did make an internal joke where it's like, what should we call the next Tremors movie if we can't call it Tremors? We call it Steve's Monsters. I'm funny because that's Tucker's Monsters is really good. Let's see. Thank you to all the people that have been making memes and contributing in the Facebook group. Thank you to Comrade Burt Gummer. Thank you to Comrade Grady Shrieker Slayer. Thank you to Comrade Earl's Graboid Hunting Service. Thank you to Comrade Ass Blaster's Femboy Feral Femboy Service. Thank you to Eric McGuire. Thank you to Bob Chihar. Thank you to Andrew Kimball. Thank you to Aaron Kendall. Thank you to Johnny Ritz. Thank you to Sarah Straza. Thank you to L. Franklin. Thank you to, come on, Levi. You're missing one. Thank you to Titty Which Way Skittles, or Titty which Titty Skittle, or something like that. Thank you to Anthony Lafusi coming into the group, and what is a Tremors? I fucking love how he loves to take the piss out of the fans, because it's true. He's right. He's fucking right. Let's see who else. No, you call it, if you're going to call it something, Beneath Perfection franchise one. You call it the Beneath Perfection franchise. You could have more worms than that, or call it Graboids. That would be mine. If you wanted to call it that, call it Graboids. That you're just go back and re-listen to what I said and the importance of the title Beneath Perfection. This is the one that we can use to win back something from Universal. Like, we are, all of us, beneath perfection. But yeah, thank you to everybody that I said, everybody that's been, Brian Frisbee. Thank you to Brian Frisbee for your poems. Thank you to, Captain T. I'm so sorry, Captain T. I'm about to wrap up. I would recommend going back and listening to this from the beginning. There's a lot of information in here that I did actually very quickly. This show is about 5 hours long. So the fact that we're 1 hour and 45, pretty big deal. But I go through all of it in detail. Everything that I've talked about, everything that this headline is wrong. There is so much that Bloody Disgusting and Culture Crave and all of these other articles have gotten wrong with this, that please, I am begging you, either listen to me or go to www.stampede-entertainment.com and get the story straight from the source. It is not the headlines about Kevin Bacon and Return to Perfection. That is all garbage, and I mean that sincerely. There's so much that is really, really bad, that is very sad and painful, that all of us as fans need to pay attention to. I'm not going to do it again, but again, if you want to listen to it, please go back to the beginning of this episode and do so. Leave comments too. Please comment and all that jazz. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, but mainly comment. If you comment, I can comment back and we can have a discussion and figure things out. Or if you follow me on Facebook, if you follow Levi Dylan Berzofflet on Facebook, let me know your thoughts. Tell me what you're feeling. This video is posted up there. Share it with your friends, all the like. Thank you to Stampede Entertainment. Thank you to Steve S.S. Wilson, Brent Maddock, Ron Underwood, Nancy Roberts. Thank you to Michael Gross. Thank you to Kevin Bacon. Thank you to Finn Carter. Thank you to Conrad Bachman. Thank you to all these people that make it happen. Thank you to Robert Jane. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Don Michael Paul, even. Thank you to Bill Watterson. Thank you to the Vincenzo Natali and Andrew Miller, the guys that did the Tremors pilot. Thank you. All of these people, they put in something. Whether or not I like what they put out, they still tried something. And it is very, trust me, Captain T, if you're new here, this episode I'm hoping will sway you to keep coming back. I hope I prove my street cred when it comes to Tremors, especially this. This is incredibly important. And if you want proof that I've been talking about this for so long, go listen to the very first episode of this show. The very first episode, Talking Tremors, and you will have heard every single thing that I've said already. Or if you wanted to listen to the episode from 2 years ago, which is everything you could want to know about Tremors in 60 minutes or less, same thing. You will see my credentials and how long I have been doing this for and how right I am most of the time. Honestly, all the time. Universal wants to make another Tremors movie. They want to undermine Stampede. And us as fans, we have the power to stop that from happening. Now, I thanked them. I love to thank I didn't thank Justin. Thank you to Justin. Thank you for being here, Justin. We'll get Shifting Sands up and going. I'm ready. I'm ready, baby. Let's fucking do it. Thank you to my family. Thank you to my sister, my dad, my mom. Thank you to Sean Day, Sean Trell, Shamar, Sahil, and Sion, and everybody. It's my nephew Samaje's birthday tomorrow. Samaje is actually part of I would say he's 80% of the reason that I'm even here talking to you right now is because I watched Tremors 7 and he was a big Tremors fan with me. And I saw what they did to Burt Gummer, and I never wanted Maji to watch that movie without another movie that came afterwards. And because it's tragic, and if you're a kid, it broke me as an adult. So I can't imagine doing that to a kid. I'm not into that. I've made it my goal ever since that there will be something that comes after, so he does not have to watch that as the end. And thank you, Colby P. Thank you, and your subscribers. I have 50 subs now. I'm going to do my first live. Hell yeah, that's fucking cool. But if we could all, if you want to do it with me, this is an everybody thing. I want to sing "Happy Birthday" to Samaje. So on the count of 3, if you're there and you're listening, let's do it together now. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday. Oh, come up here, Caitlin. You. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Samaje. Happy birthday to you. Here, would you come up here for a second? I want to end in a really cute way. You don't have to, but everybody, thank you for your happy birthday, Samaje. I love you. I love you, buddy. Look at all these happy birthdays, Maji. I know he's not around. He's up in Wisconsin Dells right now.
I'll watch him.
Having a good time. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
What did you want?
I wanted to prove to you that the person that I always thank last on this show, and there's one more person who's the most important person of all, to me at least. I would like to thank my wife, Caitlin Marie Lutt-Burzloff.
That's me.
For doing everything and being my rock, my love, my super woman person. Are you excited to watch the Too Fast, Too Furious?
I am! I can't wait for Roman! We love Roman! I love Tyrese Gibson. I don't know what.
Ejectocino cast!
Everyone gets to watch the Fast and the Furious movies. They're great. I know everyone is like, boo, for them for some reason. They're lovely and wonderful and great.
Oh my God, Pake's actually here. Pake, you're never here.
Hi, Pake.
Happy birthday, Maji.
We have to make sure to show Maj this. Yeah. I feel like he will love it.
Fuck yeah.
So he will be 9 tomorrow.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for being here. I think I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna sing happy birthday one more time because I just love Maji and I feel like that's good. But again, thank you, babe. Thank you for everything. Thank you all. And again, if you want to find out more about Tremors, visit www.stampede-entertainment.com. What the fuck are you doing?
Chicken. I don't know.
Okay, hold on. I gotta do flashy lights. Woo! All right, one last time because it's Samaje's birthday. Here we go. And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Samaje. Happy birthday to